we live in the back? Yeah, and everybody can hear me in here? Yeah. All right, sweet. What is up, everybody? Welcome. It is our now second time back in person this year. We were here 2 weeks ago, obviously, and then as y'all know, we are going every other week in person, and then every other week doing like a service to where we've got some folks that are on the live stream and hanging out with us. So what is up in the room, everyone? What is up, everybody who is at home online? I know that there's some particular folks that were able to come last week that weren't able to make it this week because of the COVID tracing, and I know that we've got some folks that are holding it down at home, and I'm glad that y'all are here and hanging out with us. This is super fun. So tonight, we're going to do stuff a little similar and also maybe a little bit different than normal. Tonight, we're going to play a game, and we're going to play a game where I'm going to have two different people on stage, and so what's going to happen is, in the room, we're going to play a game. We're going to play left side against the right side, or I guess if you're looking this way, then it would be right side against the left side. Whatever, who cares? This side of the room against this side of the room, but, whoa, let there be light, am I right, everyone? All right, sweet stuff. I hope you guys can see me loud and clear now. But we are going to also play online. So all of my homies online, you are also going to be playing your own game within this game. And so for this game, we're going to kick it old school. We're going to go classic because who doesn't like a classic game? It's fun, it's easy to understand, and we all know what to do. So for this game, I've decided, I was thinking about who I wanted up here to play and to do this game. And then honestly, as I was thinking about it, I think that what I want to do is I want to have two leaders up here. And so can I get Tate and can I get Connor to come up onto the stage with me? Obviously, as you guys were probably wondering, like, hey, wait, Kyle, why do you still have your mask on? You're up top. You're talking to the mics. Well, it's because I'm going to bring some folks on stage. Definitely don't want them up here while I have my mics off or while I have my mics off. I do want to keep my mic on while I have my mask off. So, all right, here's what's going to happen. Connor, you're going to be right here. I need you standing right here. I need you standing loud, standing proud. Tate, you're going to stand right here. Man, Tate, you were already there. I mean, that's dude, you're a smart guy. Jen, I see you over here. I need you all on this team right here because we got to keep these teams even. We got to keep these teams as fair as absolutely possible. All right, so here's what's going to happen. We're going to play a nice little game that I like to call charades. Ever heard of it? All right, I got a bunch of no's in this room. I think that maybe half of them were lying to me. Anyways, regardless of whether you know how to play or not, we're going to talk about it. So basically what's going to happen is when it's the right team's turn, I'm going to give Connor a topic. Say the topic is brushing your teeth. So Connor's not allowed to say anything. He can only act out what he's doing. And so he's going to, do this, like put toothpaste on, all that stuff, act like he's, brushing his teeth. So this team is trying to guess what he is doing. So they're yelling out until they say the right answer of brushing his teeth or brushing your teeth, in which case they get a point. Then we go over here to this side, and then we do the same. Now, here's the deal. Some of these are tiny bit specific. I need the whole right answer. Right? If it's specific and you say the general category, then that's great. You're right on the right track, but then you got to get specific when it needs to be specific. Some of them are less specific, and so that'll be okay. Then in the end, some of them might be dancing, and that would be wonderful and hilarious too. I mean, honestly, the whole goal of this game is to just get Tate and Connor up here dancing. So that's the purpose. That's the point. But online. Here is the other reason why we're playing charades, because charades is easy for you guys to play as well. So what I need is, as Connor is brushing his teeth or doing whatever, you guys online are you playing your own game. And the same as when we do the other weeks, when we play our games, the winner of each category or of each round is the person who can write it in the fastest. So if you are the first person to have said brushing your teeth, then you are the winner for that round. That also means, since you guys are on your own team, you get to play every single round. And so whoever gets it up there first, and maybe we've got some leaders who are also in the chat, you can congratulate those folks for being the winners. And that is how we're going to rock today. So, is everyone ready? Everyone understand here? Everyone understand at home? I see all of your virtual faces nodding up and down. I can tell that you're ready and excited. Connor, Tate, how you feeling, big dogs? Feeling ready to go. All right, let me get a little, let me hear, this is going to be team one. Team one, let me hear a little noise. Let me hear a little noise. All right, team two, let me hear a little noise. Yeah, all right, those were two terrible, absolutely awful. Now at home, let me hear a little noise at home. Yeah, woo, yeah, all right. I hope that your family and your parents were wondering what is going on, and then they tune into the stream just so they know. Anyways, we're going to start off with team one. We're going to give it, it's going to be a little bit easy. We're going to ease into it. We want these guys to figure it out. We know these guys aren't that good at a ton of stuff, so I want to make sure I get them in early going. I'll internally count, and then honestly, if you're taking too long, I'm just going to fall asleep, and then your turn's going to be over. So, Connor, you feeling ready to go? All right, Connor, then the first round. Oh, man, I got to make sure I hide the backside of this. I did not think this through when I wrote these down. Sorry, everyone. Anyways, all right, in 3, 2, 1, here is your first one. Okay, drumming, playing the drums. As I said, this one was going to be easy. Way to go. That is a win for team number one. I know online somebody probably got that quickly. I can't wait to find out who it was when I go back into it and I see who the winner was for round one. Anyways, round number two. Or I guess round number one, team two. So let's turn around this paper and do the same thing I did last time. That was really weird because I did a bad job of whatever. All right. You see it? In 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, man. Like he's done it his entire life. Young Tate rocking on the guitar. That's great work. All right, so as our round ends, we're tied up 1-1. Good job, everyone. Let's go into round two. All right, round two. Round two is going to be a little bit easier as well. It's okay. That's okay. We're helping them out. We know how hard things are sometimes for them. All right, Connor, your bread and butter here. In 3, 2, 1, go. All right, fishing. Connor's bread and butter. There were a lot of people. Y'all got that like immediately, like almost before he even cast his line. He went like this, and then it was like fishing. I was like, oh, wow, man. I forgot how intelligent that everyone was that was in here. So I gave like the easy ones for these guys to help them out a little bit. I forgot that you guys were just so smart. Great work, everybody. So that is now the second point for team number one. Let's see if team two can tie it up. I think it's going to happen this time. All right, let's see. All right, you see your second one right there? Yeah? Oh, he's already looking for props. This might not be good, everyone. All right, in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh. Yeah, okay. Rowing a boat. There we go. That was great. You know what? Just real quick, for everyone in here, for everyone at home, Tate, can we get a quick replay of rowing that boat, please? That's great. Sometimes you're taking a leisure row on a boat. Sometimes you're trying to move as literally slow as possible on that boat. And Tate showed us how exactly we're able to do that. Also, Tate, that was some great knee work. You could have just done this, but you fully committed. And I got to say, I probably would have torn both ACLs trying to do that knee work right there. So congrats to you. At the end of round one, it is 2-2. I'm incredibly proud of everyone, but here we go. Into round three. I'm going to throw my paper down just because I'm so excited, but there I go, jumped to the ground. Honestly, Tate probably could have bent down with those knees and got that from the stage. But here we go to round three. Team one. Connor, you ready? Are you feeling this? All right, you're feeling this. Okay. That is your thing, your category, your word, I guess. This could be a few different things. I'm anxious to see what happens, and you've got it in 3, 2, 1. Oh, okay. Make it. Wait, hold up, guys over here. You should not. Team number 2, you do not need to be helping. Connor, I did not say this prior. Not only can you not use words, you cannot use noises. So continue silently. All right. So you did that. All right. I am now counting down the seconds in my head. Who said that? Jen in the back, all the way in the back. See, Jen knew as soon. Wait, when did you know, Jen? Because that was like a lot of hand motions that I don't even know, like, if I understood why it was grilling. Okay, yeah, you got to open up the grill. There you go. Man, sometimes you just got to open up the grill. I mean, that's one thing that I know, and if anything, I'm going to walk out with that knowledge. So thank you for that, Jen, for saving Connor from, he did his best. I think he could have done a little bit better, but you got the point anyways. That's 3 points right there. And let's go ahead and turn this over. Now, all right, so we gave Connor his bread and butter earlier. Now we're on to Tate's bread and butter. You see that right there? All right, sweet. All right, Big Tate in 3, 2, and 1. DJing, there we go. Man, these were too easy. I was like coming up with these, and I was like, you guys, like, at round 3, it's going to be kind of hard. And I know grilling took a few minutes. I'm very anxious to know how grilling went online. Like, if anybody got it, or if you were like, oh, I don't know, I have no idea. Connor's being, like, he's just moving his hands around, and I have no idea. But anyways, nonetheless, we are tied up 3-3. You guys are way better at this game than I thought. We've got Connor over here continuing to grill, thinking about dinner tonight. I gave him an idea for what he's going to be doing. All right, let's see. We're on to round 4. Now I am just sad because I should have made these harder. I'm hoping that round 4 is a little bit harder. Maybe not. Maybe you guys are just too good at this. Maybe you guys are geniuses and way too smart, but we'll find out. Into round 4. Connor, do you see what you're working with here? Okay. In 3, 2, 1. Working out. There it is. All right. I'm hoping that all right. Now, I realize how quickly this is going, and you guys can yell a lot faster than everyone can type. So probably what is happening is as soon as you guys start watching, then you're hearing me yell at the answer. But hey, we're figuring this out, But anyways, working out, if you guys couldn't tell, I'm sure in the chat everybody was saying all the same things, but there were like 7 things yelled. I know y'all can't hear that. It was like lifting weights, going to the gym. I don't know. I heard like 10 different responses before I heard working out. But nonetheless, we're at 4-3. I very clearly am able to tell now that you guys are going to get all of these right, and I'm so proud of you. But anyways, we're having a good time. We're here. We're enjoying one another. We're doing all of the things. So at home, I hope you're getting these as well. Anyways, Tate, got to get the whole thing right there, buddy. So you got to think, this is going to be on Tate here. You guys are going to be able to figure some of it out, but this is going to be on Tate here a little bit. Tate in 3, 2, 1. Okay. 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 Oh, and there you go. That was great. Tate, to break it down like that, to go word to word. I mean, incredible stuff. Tate, I forgot that Tate was in the Charade Olympics like 3 years ago. 2018, Tate went to the Charade Olympics, and he got 17th. But it was out of 26 players, and so he beat some people at charades in 2018. And I forgot that, but man, absolute genius stuff. Incredible to watch. Incredible to see. Let's go on to our round 5 real quick, all right? So round 5. Connor. This is what I want to see from you, buddy. You think you can handle that? You can figure it out? All right, let's see. In 3, 2, and 1. Whoa, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Moonwalking. Shout out to Lauren for knowing her dance. Can we get that back real quick? Everyone at home, hold up real quick. Everyone at home, I need you to make sure that you can tell. Connor is rocking Crocs. I know that you can't see them because they're camouflage. You're like, I don't even see where his feet are. But they are camouflage Crocs that my boy is moonwalking with. Can we run that back one more time, Big Condo? Oh, baby. Man, honestly, like, if the feet weren't doing it for me, then like the little rotates and then the point down like that, absolutely incredible. I mean, that's beautiful stuff. I forgot that Connor was actually in the Moonwalk Olympics in 2019 and placed 15th. Way better than Tate did in the other Olympics, the Charade Olympics. All right, Tate, let's get this one going. Yeah, you see it? All right, let's see what you got in 3, 2, 1. Oh, baby. All right. There we go. Man, I wish I would have had some music to that because that was, I mean, an incredible performance. Tate, if DJing ever doesn't work out for your day job, you might have a job in doing a little hip-hop dancing. Anyway, all right, so we got 5-5. That was a great tie. Honestly, what I'm thinking, yeah, good quality fake high five. What I'm thinking is, I don't know. What do y'all think? Because honestly, I just don't know if I like tying. Like, I just don't feel like we should tie. So kind of what I'm thinking is we should do one word, and then I'm going to throw my paper again because that was such a good idea. And then everybody does it, and then whoever I hear from whatever team first is the winner. And then at home, if there are people who are in a tie, you can figure out this way as well. This can be the final round. So I've got to think of a word in my head. Anybody have a word? Jen, do you got a word in mind? No? Yeah? All right, let's see. All right. This is going to, all right, let's get this going. All right, let's see. Man, this is really putting me on the spot. I know this is great up here in the old land of streaming. All right, let's see. You know what? Let's just do. Let's see. All right, no, you. Well, you have a word, Connor? All right. You know what? We're going to make this just very on brand. No use of We're going to go completely on brand here. We're going to do it like that. No, you cannot use any props. Okay? No props are allowed to be used. You guys see what it is. No pointing either. This is only within yourself and what you are able to do to figure out what's going on. We're going to just stay on brand in 3, 2, and 1. Lauren, did you say the whole phrase? Who said it? Kate said it, which means Team 2. Tate's Team 2 absolutely killing it. I didn't watch what was happening here. Shout out to you. I had no idea what they were doing. I would have had no clue. But anyways, that's a victory for Team 2. I can't wait to find out who the victory was for online on the stream. But anyways, fellas, thank you so much. Can we get a round of applause for our great actors? I mean, honestly, I was not anticipating. You guys can go ahead and walk off stage now. Thank you so much. I mean, incredible performances. I wasn't expecting or anticipating how incredible that was going to be. You guys are so good at this. And then everybody out here just knows acting and watching. I mean, I guess you guys have been watching so many things online and all that stuff now that, like, any motion that you watch somebody do, you can probably figure out. But that's great stuff. So here's what's going to happen now. We're going to make a weird and awkward transition. I'm going to jump into, and we're going to kind of just have a little bit of a lesson real quick. But with that I am going to, now that everyone is far enough away from me, I'm going to take my mask off. And then I'm also, so I don't have to keep holding this thing up because I'm not strong enough to hold this up for very long because I have weak arms. I don't have those Tate arms. So I'm going to flip my mics real quick. So hopefully that's all right. But just so you know at home, so y'all know in here, I'm not just like standing and being weird and doing all this like headgear stuff. So that's what's going to happen. I'm going to turn this mic off and do the other one up. So thank y'all. Okay, all right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me through the speakers? Can you hear me online? Sweet, I see all of your virtual heads nodding once again. That is great stuff. All right, boy, does this feel better. As you guys know, I like to move. I like to move my arms and my hands and all of that stuff. And so having to stick right here, definite bummer. But anyways, once again, thank you all for being here. I know that we've got some more people at home than we even had last week. So thank y'all for tuning in online. I know that it's not the most fun thing in the world, but I also hope that you feel like you're able to at least somewhat be involved, being able to watch the stream and all of that stuff. And then obviously everyone here, it's just wonderful to see all of your faces. I have missed your faces so much. So every time I get the opportunity to see them is the best. So anyways, we are going to jump in, and what we're going to be doing for the next couple weeks is we're going to be talking about just a few folks in the Old Testament and just a little bit about their stories. And I love going through people in the Old Testament because it was a long time ago. Old Testament, yes. So all of this obviously was a long time ago, but there are just some pretty incredible and remarkable folks that are in the Bible, and as different as the culture was then, and as different and as sometimes when we read through these things, we're like, okay, like, this doesn't really apply to me. But then when you really search and when you really deep dive and figure it out, you realize, wow, there's some really great stuff in here. And for us in 2021, trying to just do our best, trying to live for God and trying to be like, how can I like live my faith out, and how can I be a good friend? How can I be a good student, a good son, a good daughter, all of those things. I think that we can jump into Scripture and we can look at these different people, and even if their life and experiences were so different than ours, that the way that they lived their lives, the things that they did, I think can have such a great and vast and incredible impact on us if we're just willing to take the time to dive in and see how maybe their life looks in some ways pretty similar to ours. And so this morning, and by this morning, I mean tonight, we are going to dive in and we are going to talk about Daniel. I know most of us have probably, if you've been around church for a while, you've heard Daniel, you know about Daniel, but Daniel's story is pretty cool. In the beginning of Daniel, we see that it says in the 3rd year of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem and besieged it. What that basically means is that this king of Babylon, that Babylon came and they took over Jerusalem. They came and through war and through just having a stronger army, they went into Jerusalem and they took it over. They said, you are now a part of us. You no longer are your own nation. You are now a part of Babylon, and now I rule you. And so what happens here is Nebuchadnezzar, being the guy that he is, what King Nebuchadnezzar does is he goes out and he says, you know what? We need some more good men. We've got all of our good men that are our Babylonian men, but we're always looking for more. We're always looking for better. So what I want you to go out and do is I want you to go and find some of your fittest, best looking, best dudes. So some of the people that are Jewish, that are from Israel, that are from Jerusalem, go and take those people that we just sieged. Find some of the best and bring them to me, because I want those people to be around me. They can join my army, and they can fight for me, and they can fight for Babylon. They can join my forces of just having good, thoughtful, smart folks to have around and walk with me and do all those things as well. And so they did. Well, within that company was, you guessed it, Daniel. Daniel was within this company, along with some of Daniel's friends, that were Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, some other names that maybe we've heard as well. And I know within Daniel 1, they use a few different names for them, but it's Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who we have talked about in the past, and probably you guys have heard, especially if you were like a kid growing up in the church, because what a great story. You got Daniel in the lion's den, you got Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fire. Anyways, this is the beginning of their story. They bring these guys in and they say, hey, so the king says, hey, what I want, these are the best we have, so give them food and give them this food and this wine so that you can make them grow strong and be the strong and great men that I need them to be for my forces. Well, there was a problem. The problem is that Daniel and his friends were Jewish. Daniel and his friends they weren't Christians, but they were people who were living for the Christian God. They were Jews, God's chosen people, and they had their own rules and their own laws that forbade them from eating these foods and these wines. For a couple different reasons. One of the reasons was that these foods and these wines, they had been given and gifted in a way of sacrificing and giving to different gods than our God and their God. And other reasons, because these are foods that, quote, defiled them in their Judaism. And so basically, the point of it is that they could not eat these foods, and if they did, they were sinning against their God and against their people. So Daniel goes and he says, yo, I can't eat these foods that you're giving me. I'm sorry, it's against what I believe, it's against what I do, I can't do it. Well, here's the thing. This could have led to him dying. To say no to an offering of people who are above you in this day is almost saying, hey, I'm not going to do this so you can just kill me. Well, luckily, as it says in this passage in Daniel 1, the Lord worked in this man's heart and showed favor to them. And so Daniel basically says, okay, here's the deal. Here's what I'm going to do for you, because he's like, if you don't eat all of these things, if you don't eat and drink these things that the king has told us to give you, then you are not going to be as strong as the rest of these people. And then what happens then is I get in trouble, because if I don't give you the right foods and you aren't as strong as everyone else, I'm going to get killed. So Daniel says, here's the deal. Let's see, we're going to actually go down here and we're going to start reading now. Daniel then said to the guard whom the chief official had appointed over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, which are Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, please test your servants for 10 days. Give us nothing but vegetables to eat and water to drink. Then compare our appearances with that of the young men who eat the royal food, and treat your servants in accordance with what you see. So he agreed to this and tested them for 10 days. At the end of the 10 days, they looked healthier and better nourished than any of the young men who ate the royal food. So the guard took away their choice food and the wine, and they were to drink and gave them vegetables, and said, to these 4 men, God gave knowledge and understanding of all kinds of literature, learning, and Daniel could understand visions and dreams of all kinds. At the end of the time set by the king to bring them in, the chief official presented them to Nebuchadnezzar. The king talked with them, And he found none equal to Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. So they entered the king's service. In every matter of wisdom and understanding about which the king questioned them, he found them 10 times better than all the magicians and enchanters in the whole kingdom. And Daniel remained there until the first year of King Cyrus. At a glance, obviously, the point of this passage for you guys is not to be like, hey, if any country ever comes and takes over us, make sure you only eat the right foods, right? Like, that's not the point of why we're going to talk about this morning. Obviously, culturally, this is very different from anything that, like, we are dealing with or that we are struggling with. But what is the same is this. These dudes were tempted, and these dudes were given the opportunity and even told that they were to sin and to do this thing that they knew was wrong. They didn't have a choice. They were taken captive of. They weren't just like walking into this place and be like, yo, what's up? You guys seem like some cool guys. Can I come and hang out but not eat your food? They had no choice in the matter. They were put into this place, and everybody else around them is doing this stuff. They're eating these things. They're doing these things they know they shouldn't have done. They said no. The past couple weeks, we've been talking about Hebrews, right? We've been talking about Hebrews 10, and we've been talking about how important it is that as we're trying to live for God and as we're trying to live out our faith in God and do everything that we can for Him, that the most beneficial thing that we can do is we can have a set of friends, a small group, or people around us that are building us up, that are uplifting us, and are encouraging us to live out our faith in that way. But the problem is that just having a faith, just giving our hearts to Jesus, and to have a group of friends that loves us and encourages us and lifts us up in our faith, those things don't take away the fact that life sometimes still gets hard. Those things don't take away the fact that sometimes we are still in scenarios where we are being encouraged to do things that we know we shouldn't be doing, talking about and saying things we know we shouldn't be saying and talking about. Sometimes we are around people, and sometimes we are in circumstances that we don't simply have the opportunity to just walk away from, right? Just like them. They had their faith in their God. They had each other, but they still had to make these decisions around people who weren't making the same decisions. Does that sound familiar? You're not just always coming to youth group. You're not just always coming to church. Sometimes you're going to school. Is everyone at your school working on and trying to be as faithful to God as you are? No. People are doing things that they shouldn't be doing, saying things that they shouldn't be saying. People are always going to be mean. People are going to be negative. People are going to be rude. People are going to talk badly about people. People are going to gossip about people. People are going to go over the weekend and they're going to drink. They're going to do things that they shouldn't be doing with their boyfriend or girlfriend. All of these things are going to be happening, right? This is especially prevalent right now where a lot of us, maybe for the first time, are starting to go back to school. You're going to be around these people that aren't your small group. They're not people who are all like, we're walking hand in hand together and we are going to be like just living out our faith in all of these ways. Some of these people don't have the same beliefs that you do. Or some people maybe, quote, have the same beliefs that you do, but they're doing things that you know aren't right. Obviously, it looks different than the things that you eat, but y'all all know what I'm talking about. You know the things that you see people do at school, cheating and making fun of people and being negative and talking badly about people and all that stuff. You know the things that people do outside of school. People in your on your teams, people that are on your casts, people in your dance group or your crew, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to just say dance crew. People in your dance crew, like Tate and Connor and mine. You're in these scenarios and you're in these places, and even honestly at home. How tempted are we at home to be rude and to be mean to our parents? How tempted are we to be awful to our brothers and our sisters because they're annoying us? I see some eyes moving around in here. I'm sure there are some people in there thinking the same thing at home. Just because we have a faith and just because we have friends to build us up, it doesn't mean that temptations don't still arise. And it doesn't mean that we aren't going to be around people and situations and scenarios that sin could happen and sin is happening around us. And I can promise you that if these four guys, if they showed up to this place and they were said, you're to eat this and you are to drink this, if they hadn't way before that decided who they were and who they wanted to be, that it was going to be too late and they were just going to fall under that sin. If you wait until you are in the moment of temptation to decide whether or not that is who you want to be and the type of person that you want to be, it's too late. You're going to fall under whatever that sin is. You're going to talk about people with those people. You're going to turn to negativity. You're going to cheat on that test or on that homework. Part of giving our hearts to Jesus is not simply saying, this is who I want to have my heart, but it's my whole heart. And so part of it is, and this is perfect for right now as you guys are starting to go back into seeing folks. You're on your teams again, or some people are going back in school. Some of you have been in school, and so you know what I'm talking about some, but is to take the time tonight to say, this is who I want to be. I want to be someone who, instead of turning to negativity, instead of turning to rudeness and anger and aggression, instead of being mean to folks, I want to be the person who loves folks, who encourages them and who uplifts them, who chooses not to speak negatively about people, who chooses to find the positive, to see the way that the Lord is working, not the way that Satan is trying to work against them. What if that was us? What if that was you? What if you were the one person in your group of friends at school or at your team or whatever who chose to stay positive, who chose to stay kind and loving to the people around, to the teacher? What if you were the only one in your friend group or in whatever it is that was kind to your family, to your parents, even when they were being annoying? That'd be pretty wild. I guarantee you you'd be noticed, right? In a world where people are pretty rude, pretty negative, love to gossip, love to talk about people and make fun of people, love to be mean and rude to anyone who maybe doesn't give them quite what they want or kind of like when you don't get your way. In that world, someone who chooses to continue to persist in kindness really stands out, really shines bright. What if we were those people? Because guess what? When we choose to live like Christ, when we choose to say, hey, not only do I want to give my heart to Jesus once, but I want my heart to reflect Jesus. I want people to understand how loving Jesus is by how loving that I am. I want to say no to these things that I know might be fun for right now because I know that they're not good for me in the future. I don't want to turn to doing these bad things. I don't want to turn to sin. I want to continue to stay pure. Guess what happens? We get to be blessed by the Lord. The Lord is working in us. As you can see throughout this story, through every turn, the Lord is there and the Lord is working, and they are able to experience the blessings and the fullness of God. But what's also cool is even though they still went through these things, they stood together. And so even still and even so, even though having a good group of friends isn't always going to take away all of the temptations, and even though you can't spend 100% of your time with just those good friends who are working with you and walking with you, you can still walk together. You're still able to talk to them and encourage them and to be encouraged by them and to say, guys, like I'm dealing with this. I'm struggling with this. This is tough. Everybody on my team is awful. They've got terrible mouths. They're super negative. They're really mean. Everyone wants to cheat all the time in school, and I don't really know if that's the right thing to do. Some of us, I know, are dealing with some of these things right now. Some of us probably have kind of fallen under some of these temptations, right? Done some of these things. I know that I have. Like, as I was reading this passage, I was like, gosh, there are some things in my life that, like, for sure are not okay. The Lord offers forgiveness and the Lord offers grace. That's why Jesus died for us, is because when we fall under this, when we fall under these sins, we're able to turn around and say, God, I'm so sorry. I need you. I need to repent of this. And guess what? It's forgiven. And guess what? We can continue to just pursue him and say, hey, now I don't want to do this because look what happens. Not only did they become strong, not only did they become stronger and more wise than all of the rest of the people, but they're put in places of prominence. And guess what? When these folks go in and now are in leadership positions within this place that these people don't know who God is, then they are able to show people who God is by simply living out their life for him. Not always just talking about God, but showing God with their actions and with their deeds. And the same thing for you guys. When you act counter to the culture of everybody who's doing these things, they're going out and doing whatever they're doing on the weekends. When they're in school or when they're hanging out or when they're whatever, they're being awful and being terrible and using their words in awful ways, whether it be negativity or making fun of people, or whatever it is. When we choose instead to be people who not always are just preaching, but people who choose to act in love and encouragement and uplifting each other and being kind to other people, then we are getting to show people, just like they did, how awesome and how great our God is. And I promise you, the blessings, the long-term blessings and joy that comes from living out our lives for Christ far exceeds the quick satisfaction of somebody being like, hey, that guy's okay for just a bit. Far exceeds deciding for just a quick second, I want to please myself with this sin. So may we be people who can do that. And when we do deal with, or when we do have people who are trying their hardest to force us to do something or say something that we don't want to say, let's know when we're there that I have already decided that's not who I want to be. I've already decided that that's not the type of dude or the type of girl that I want to be, to where I can easily and just very quickly say no to it. And when we are dealing and struggling with these things, let us remember that just like Daniel had these guys, that you have your small group and you have your people in your life that want to encourage you and walk with you and make sure that you are staying true to the Lord and staying true to yourself and who you want to be. So let's pray real quick and then we'll be done. God, thank you for your Son. God, thank you that you have given us the opportunity to have a faith in you that means not only do we have eternal life with you in heaven, but we get to spend our life with you and have a relationship with you here on earth right now. God, I pray that we make the decision today right now that we want to be people who live for you. And as we think through the different things in our lives and in our days, like even just this coming week, what we could possibly run into, God, I pray that we're people who are able to say, I want to be this person, and so if I come to that struggle, I'm immediately going to be able to say no to it. God, thank you for our friends, for the people who love us and encourage us and uplift us. God, I pray that we are able to do the same for them. And God, as we leave tonight, as we go to school or we go into our homes or whatever it is, God, I pray that our attitudes, our hearts, our actions, our words are reflections of you. Let us bless people. Let us bring people joy, and let us make others feel loved because you love us. God, we love you so much. Amen. Anyways, thank y'all so much for being here. Everybody online, thank y'all so much for being here. That is going to be the end of our stream. So, guys, loved having you here, and we will see you next time. I think we're going to turn the stream off in the back, but we'll see you next week. And everyone here, thank y'all so much for being here as well. Shan, we good? We off?